In 1993, an 11-year-old girl walked onto the stage of Star Search, the biggest talent show on American television. Her group was called Girls Time. 6 girls, rehearsed choreography, absolute confidence. In her mind, the plan was simple: perform, win, sign a record deal. She didn't even consider losing as a possibility. They lost to a rock band called Skeleton Crew on national television. Most people would move on, forget it, let it go. She kept the audio for 20 years. And then she sampled the announcer's voice, the exact moment of her defeat, in the opening of Flawless. That's not resilience. That's not motivation. That's obsession. This is Beyoncé, and she has something to teach you about what happens when you refuse to let anything, defeat, criticism, doubt, go to waste.
Beyoncé Giselle Knowles Carter. 35 Grammys, more than any artist in history, male or female. 200 million records sold, net worth of $1 billion. But here's what's interesting about Beyoncé. She's not interesting because she won. She's interesting because of the obsessive price she paid to win. When she was 14, her father quit a 6-figure job at Xerox to manage her group. The family income dropped by half. They sold the house. Her parents separated for 6 months due to financial stress. The group was signed and dropped by Elektra before landing the Columbia deal. 2 members left and sued her father for mismanagement of funds. Beyoncé wasn't born a queen. She was forged through obsession. Here are 5 lessons from a woman who turned every defeat into fuel. Not the motivational version, the version where success isn't about talent, it's about being so obsessed that quitting becomes impossible.
Lesson 1. Power is not given, it's taken. Beyoncé said, "Power's not given to you, you have to take it." And then added, "Power means happiness. Power means hard work and sacrifice." Think about that. Most people define power as something you receive, a promotion, permission, an opportunity someone offers you. Beyoncé defines power as something you take through the force of work, through refusing to ask for permission. In 2011, she fired her own father as her manager, the same father who gave up everything for her career, the same father who trained her since childhood. Why? Because she discovered financial irregularities in the I Am Tour. The man who sacrificed everything for her was taking from her. She didn't create public drama, didn't give tearful interviews, simply said, "I'm in control of my career now." The lesson: loyalty cannot cost you your autonomy. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones holding you back the most, and you have to have the courage to cut, even when it hurts. Beyoncé cut her own father at 30 years old and rebuilt the relationship later on her own terms. Power isn't waited for, it's taken.
Lesson 2. You're never too good to lose. Remember that Star Search defeat? Beyoncé turned it into a life philosophy. She said, "The reality is, sometimes you lose, and you're never too good to lose, never too big to lose, never too smart to lose. It happens." Then added, "Never let success go to your head. Never let failure get to your heart." This from a woman with 35 Grammys, the most awarded artist in history. She lost the Grammy for Album of the Year 4 times before finally winning in 2025 of Cowboy Carter. 2010, lost to Taylor Swift's Fearless. 2015, lost to Beck's Morning Phase. 2017, lost to Adele's 25. And Adele herself said on stage, "I can't possibly accept this award. The artist of my life is Beyoncé." 2023, Renaissance lost again. 4 public defeats, 4 national humiliations. 4 times the world said, "You're good, but not the best." She didn't complain, didn't post bitter tweets, didn't question the Academy. She went back to the studio, made another album, and in 2025, she finally took it. The lesson? Losing isn't the opposite of winning, it's the path.
Lesson 3. Vision isn't enough. Obsession is. Beyoncé said, "Vision and intention weren't enough. I had to put in the work. And then, I'm a workaholic and I don't believe in no. If I'm not sleeping, nobody's sleeping." Her father, Matthew Knowles, had a brutal training method. He made the Destiny's Child girls sing while running to build stamina. He showed them videos of Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Tina Turner, and Madonna, and said, "Study them like football teams study their opponents' tapes." When Beyoncé had inflamed wisdom teeth, she refused the surgery. Why? Because she couldn't fit 2 weeks with a puffy face into her schedule. She postponed real physical pain because the work couldn't stop. Before Coachella 2018, the show fans call Baychella, she rehearsed for 8 months with a 200-person band, marching band choreography, 8 months after giving birth to twins. Her mother, Tina, expressed concern that Coachella's predominantly white audience might not understand the tribute to Black universities. Beyoncé responded, "I have worked very hard to get to the point where I have a true voice. At this point in my life and my career, I have a responsibility to do what's best for the world, not what is most popular." The lesson? Everyone has vision. Few have obsession.
Lesson 4. Turn judgment into fuel. In 2001, Beyoncé was gaining weight. The media didn't forgive her. She had just lost 2 friends and group members. LaToya and Latavia left and sued her father. She was eating to cope with stress, and the tabloids noticed. Her response? Right, bootylicious. She said, "I wrote that song because I was getting bigger and bigger, and I just wanted to talk about it. I like to eat, and that's a problem in this industry. I'm still probably twice as big as any of the other actresses out there." The song blew up, became a cultural phenomenon. And here's the part nobody tells you. The word bootylicious was added to the Oxford Dictionary in 2004. Official definition, voluptuously sexy and attractive. When David Letterman asked about it, Beyoncé said, "I'm not very proud of that. It's in the dictionary. It's crazy. I wrote the song, but I wish there was another word I could have come up with if I was going to have a word in the dictionary." The irony? The thing she's embarrassed about is the proof of impact. She took the judgment about her body and turned it into permanent vocabulary in the English language. The lesson? Criticism is material. Use it.
Lesson 5, silence is strategy. December 13th, 2013, midnight. Beyoncé released her 5th album. No warning, no promotion, no singles, no interviews, no billboards, no radio. Just an Instagram post, surprise. 14 songs, 17 music videos, a complete visual album. The industry lost its mind. Result, 80,000 copies in the first 3 hours, 828,773 copies worldwide in 3 days, the fastest-selling iTunes album in history at that point, 1.2 million tweets in 12 hours. The album was codenamed Lily inside Columbia. Only senior executives knew. The collaborators, Justin Timberlake, Drake, Frank Ocean, didn't know the release date. Target and Amazon initially refused to stock it because they were angry about the iTunes exclusivity. Radio stations scrambled to play it within minutes. Harvard Business School did a case study on the release. The industry changed global release day from Tuesday to Friday because of her. Drake, Kanye, Kendrick, Rihanna, Eminem, they all copied the strategy afterward. The lesson, while everyone else screams for attention, sometimes the most powerful move is silence. Beyoncé didn't announce, she arrived. Now, some things you probably don't know about Beyoncé. First, there's a fly named after her. In 2012, Australian scientist Brian Lassard discovered a new species of horsefly in Australia. He named it Scaptia Beyoncé because of the golden hairs on the fly's butt. In his words, it's the all-time diva of flies. The fly was collected in 1981, the same year Beyoncé was born. The research team tried to contact her about the great honor bestowed upon her. Beyoncé never responded. Second, she used to sleep with a python. In 2002, Beyoncé had a pet python named Fendi. It actually belonged to her cousin, but they shared a room, so it became our snake. She said in an interview, "We slept with the snake. It was a python, a big, nice-sized snake." One day the snake escaped and was hanging from the closet. Her father, Matthew, the same guy who trained the group with an iron fist, was terrified of snakes. He ordered it out of the house immediately. Third, she threw $250,000 earrings into the crowd. At VH1 Divas 2003, in the middle of her performance, she simply ripped off Lorraine Schwartz's diamond earrings, valued at $250,000, and threw them into the crowd. Afterwards, she said she didn't know why she did it. Her choreographer, Frank Gatson, explained, "That's losing yourself. She was possessed by the stage." Her cousin had to go retrieve the earrings from the fan who caught them. This episode was one of the reasons she created Sasha Fierce, an alter ego to explain the stage behavior she herself didn't understand. Fourth, she's obsessed with the number 4. Born September 4th. Mom born January 4th. Jay-Z born December 4th. Married April 4th, 2008. Why 2008? Because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Blue, Ivy, equals IV in Roman numerals, equals 4. She released an album literally called 4. Jay-Z released 444.
Both have tattoos of the number IV on their fingers. When people say she's superstitious, she doesn't deny it, she documents it. Fifth, her pregnancy announcement broke the internet. 2011 VMAs, end of her Love on Top performance, she opens her blazer and reveals her pregnant belly. 8,868 tweets per second. Guinness World Record for most tweets per second for a single event in history at that time. She literally overloaded Twitter's servers with a belly.
There's a Netflix documentary called Homecoming about the preparation for Coachella 2018. Watch it, not for the music, for the moment where you see what obsession actually looks like. 8 months of rehearsal, restrictive diet, body recovering from a twin pregnancy, and there she is, at 2 a.m., redoing choreography until it's perfect. In the middle of the show, she said, "Thank you, Coachella, for allowing me to be the first Black woman to headline. Ain't that about a bitch?" Beyoncé isn't a celebrity who got lucky. She's a survivor who turned obsession into an empire. Every defeat became fuel, every criticism became a song, every doubt became motivation. The 11-year-old girl who lost on Star Search in 1993 didn't give up. She kept that audio for 20 years and turned it into the opening of a hit. That's not resilience, that's obsession. And obsession is the only strategy. If you want to go deeper, read Becoming Beyoncé, The Untold Story by J. Randy Taraborelli. It's the most comprehensive biography about her, written by a New York Times bestselling biographer. The book covers exactly this: struggle, sacrifice, and what it really costs to reach the top in the music industry. It's not the glamorized version, it's the real version. For the visuals, watch Homecoming on Netflix, the 2018 Coachella documentary, and Life is But a Dream on HBO. Listen to Lemonade from start to finish, not the songs, the story she tells. The question that remains is, what are you obsessed enough about to keep for 20 years? Subscribe if you want more breakdowns of interesting people who refuse to be normal. Comment below, what's your obsession?